got my package. Guys, we're going to talk about Amazon's most sold EDC knife. I'm going to give y'all my first impressions. I think I paid about $35 for this knife from CRKT. I'm going to talk about why I bought it, and I'm going to talk about my impressions on it, and if I think I'm going to actually use this as an EDC knife. So let's go ahead and open the package up, you guys. Very simple packaging. I mean, it's a knife. We don't really care so much about the packaging. That's the box. A little CRKT pamphlet here. Confidence in hand. I think about how to impress your father-in-law. Okay. And that's it. So let's get to the knife, because nobody cares about that, right? First impressions, you guys, which is something that I was worried about, is the texture on the knife. I was worried it was going to be smooth. Okay, you can't tell texture from a picture, but this actually has a little bit of like a coarse feel to it. It's not like sandpaper. It's basically the perfect texture for your pocket. Okay, when you're putting something in your pocket, you have to consider a couple things. You don't want it to be too smooth because this is a knife, and obviously a knife that's smooth is dangerous to the user, right? Because your hand can slide up and you're going to cut yourself. So it's got some grip there, but it also can't be too grippy like sandpaper because it's not going to go in and out of your pocket easy. So let's go ahead and test it out real quick. Fits in the pocket perfect, guys. Slides right in. Pretty low profile, right? Nobody's going to know that's a knife. That was also one of my important considerations when looking at this. Before I had this knife, I had a Emerson Wave knife, something a little bit more traditional. It has a super fast flip out, but it's just a little bit too thick. I love this because this is like carrying a pen, right? So this is why I picked this one up. Super minimalist, and for the price was right. It's exactly what I was looking to spend, and the blade length is intimidating enough. Okay, you get a I think this is 3.25 inches. You get this pulled out on you, you're gonna be intimidated. Okay, that's gonna be enough to make somebody not want to mess with you. I didn't want a little 1-inch blade or something like that. This is functional. I like the blade style. It looks good. It actually looks more expensive than what it is. CRKT is obviously a brand known for self-defense. I don't know how premium they are, but I'm going to say they're probably like an entry-level knife. Okay, this is not going to be your Benchmade or anything like that. But what I will say is the lock is solid. There is no play in the knife, and it's centered up really nice. So I'm going to give you guys some still shots kind of towards the end, or I'll place them throughout the video here. But for the package, guys, I think this one is a buy. I'm going to carry it around. The only downside, which is a downside because it's also a bonus, is the small size of it in the terms of the width. It's kind of difficult to take it out with one hand. You see how I'm doing this? I have to position my finger in a certain way, or my hand in a certain way, to kind of flip this knife all the way out. Like if I try to do it just from the bottom here, it's going to be pretty difficult. Okay? But you can always just flip it out a tad and then whip it out like that. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion, in a self-defense scenario. You're not going to want to try to be shifting your hand up and down and all that stuff. You might not have time for that. So you just loosen it up a bit, get it out of the lock, and then whip it out. Bam. Ready to go. So, CRKT knife on Amazon. Is it worth it? $35? Yes, it is, in my opinion, guys. There's some comments on there. People talking about that this is hard to open. It is not hard to open. Okay? It's hard to open if you're trying to think of this as a button and you're pushing it down and doing that. And even then, it's not that hard to open. With a knife like this, you have to come at it at an angle. Okay? Like your natural angle to open the knife. Maybe these people aren't really experienced with knives. That's the only review I really saw going on. So you don't have to believe that, guys. This is an easy knife to open up. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you end up purchasing the CKRT knife. Thanks for tuning in.